All right, so right now what we're doing is measuring this pole here, this post. We are actually going to be digging a hole in the ground to put a post in, 2 of them. We're going to set up our rolling compost bin, and so you can rotate it. And our idea is to put it high enough so that we can put it directly, or put the wheelbarrow directly underneath it, so when we open it, we can just pour it right into the wheelbarrow. So that's kind of our idea right now. So Ian's just measuring our post. We do have some extra concrete from a couple years ago, so we're going to be able to ground these in with concrete in the ground. So, and I think we're doing 2 feet in the ground and about 4 feet above. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, we might do a foot. It's only a 10-foot post.
Okay, so a foot in the ground.
Maybe a foot and a half in the ground.
Yeah.
3.5 feet, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll make it work with the post that we have. So yeah, and then again, the concrete will obviously keep it sturdy while it's in there. And yeah, and then there's a couple other stuff we'll show you as well today. All right, so here we are in the backyard. Real quick, I just wanted to show you, we did have to move our 5 of our 6 marigolds outside. So as you can see, some of the leaves are turning purple. About, again, 5 of our 6 marigolds this is happening. So we looked it up because I had no idea, and neither did Ian. So it could indicate a phosphorus deficiency and or the soil being too cold and too moist. So we added our Miracle Grow water that we use for the tomato in the garage. The Miracle Grow has like 18% phosphorus, so we water them a little bit with the Miracle Grow water, and then we move them outside to see if we could help warm them up and dry them out a little bit. So again, this is all experimental, so we have no idea if this is even going to work or what else we can do other than obviously starting over. But we're just going to see what happens, and we'll keep you guys updated on that. It is July 4th today, just for clarification time wise. Yeah, so that is our marigolds. Ian is back there in the far left corner. You can see him there. We are getting ready to, again, do an update to our compost bin. We actually got that from our neighbor. They weren't using it, so they let us have it, which was super nice of them. So you can see all those pallets back there. Eventually we're going to make compost bins. We're going to have 3 separate bins, and the idea is that instead of just turning over your pile like what we have here, you just rotate the I just blurred that. You just rotate the compost, so you just kind of flip it from one bin to the next bin to the next bin, and then the third bin has all of your good soil in it. So yeah, so we're gonna get rid of this at some point. We'll probably try to do that towards the end of summer. It's super hot today. We have, I think the high is like 96 with a heat index of up to like 104, maybe even 106, I can't remember. So it's really, really hot today. We just wanted to get outside real quick while baby's napping and get this done. This was a fairly easy project. Well, I say easy, but but yeah, so eventually we'll get rid of that compost pile. We'll use those pallets to make our 3 bins, and then we'll have the rotating barrel over there. And then at some point we will be expanding the garden to kind of back up to where the bins will be, so it'll be easier to move the composted dirt that we'll have. So obviously we do have a wheelbarrow, which will make it easier too, but for the time being, we're just, again, this is all a learning process, a learning curve for us. What we will probably do to start with the barrel is use that for composting our fruits and vegetables that we have inside. Normally we would put them in the compost pile, but our dog will eat them, and that's not good. So we figured it would be safer to put it in the barrel instead. So anyway, we've got one hole dug already. This is where our pallets used to be. You can see the dead grass. So we just moved them over. And then again, we're gonna make the barrel high enough so that we can just unload it into the wheelbarrow. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna check the soil. Yep, still wet. That was our Miracle Grow, and still wet in our Dr. Earth. So check our, it's getting a little more dry. So that's still wet. That went right to wet. That one's wet. And I checked the other ones already. So again, this is a soil tester for, you can do moisture content, pH, and light and dark. I'm not sure exactly what that's for, but got this from Amazon. It's called 3-way meter. Pretty handy little tool. So going to check the moisture level of our garden real quick. What? Yeah. Still pretty wet. And that's over by our tomato. Yep. Wet by the pepper. Wet by the beans. So likely that our, I'll check the onions too. Yep. Wet by the onions. Okay, so get out of here without killing myself. So we've got the compost bin up. Oops. So again, it was just the green barrel. It actually had plastic on the sides that it was like a triangle on either side, and it was sat on the ground, but we decided to put it upright, so it just spins like that. We'll be able to rotate it. It does have an area that we can use for a lock, but we're not sure if we're gonna actually need that right now. So, and then again, we'll use these pallets for our compost bins later this year. So, but yeah, we got concrete down in there. We've got our supports just until it sets. We can get some pretty strong winds here, so we just wanted to make sure that the wind didn't knock it and it was crooked. So we got it as level as we could. But yeah, the posts are down about 15 inches, set in concrete, and then hooked up there. We ended up doing a little bit different attachment than we thought. We just used these brackets that were already attached and drilled them into the posts on the inside. So again, this little insert here fit onto a plastic piece, and the whole frame was like a triangle, but it broke. So, but this is better because we'll be able to put our wheelbarrow underneath it. Again, these support posts will be removed once the concrete sets. So, but yeah, so it is, like I said, about 104 degrees Fahrenheit here, and that's with the heat index. It is 4th of July, so you'll probably hear fireworks going on in the background. Soil moisture is still pretty high in our garden. And the plants in the garage. We checked the marigolds up on the deck earlier that I showed you that the leaves are turning purple. So we'll just continue to check the soil daily just to see how things keep going. So we're supposed to get really, really hot weather the rest of this week. So hopefully that does the trick. So anyway, Ian's just cleaning up some of our mess from the concrete, and yeah, that should be it for today.